Alright, so I'm going to do a quick video here just showing you what I do and how I go about cleaning off these batteries. I use this product here, CRC battery cleaner. I really like this one because it has with the acid indicator in it and it makes things go pink. So I'm going to show you that real quick. Here's the top of a battery. I used my electric pressure washer. I don't recommend using the gas pressure washers because they're too powerful. My little electric power washer is just like maybe a third the power. So I kind of spray off the top of the battery a little bit. You got to avoid these little holes in these caps, because if you sit and let your pressure washer just sit there and spray, you're going to basically put water, mineralized water, inside your battery covers. So you don't hang around and spray on these very often. But you definitely want to go through these cracks, and you want to get on the sides of these inner cell connectors as much as you can. And I also recommend, a lot of people are a little lazy when they close these. So you got your lid, your little cap off, and they'll just kind of barely twist it like that. And what happens is it's a little loose down here at the base. I really recommend before you spray off your battery, you twist that thing. I usually get a pair of pliers and twist it. But with these caps off, you want to be careful about not having anything metal up here, because it can arc, and when you get an arc, you're going to get a spark, and then there could be hydrogen venting in here. Hey Andrew, could you hand me one of those caps on the chair right there? Yeah, they're in the little plastic thing there. Just make sure all these caps are on nice and tight before you spray it off. And thank you. I wanted to show you these little caps here. These go over the top of this like this. And some people really struggle getting these off. So I thought I'd show how I do it. You can see that as I wiggle this, there is a little bit of a play back and forth. Like I can push it one way or the other. And basically what I'll do is, as I'm pushing it, so I wiggle it a little bit to get the play in there. And then as I'm pushing it with my thumb, I'll gently put my finger under this side, and you just kind of lift a little bit. You don't have to force it. You just lift it a little bit, and then it'll flip right off. I want you to look inside here. See these little lips? Those lips are what clasp underneath the inner cell connector, and that's what makes it so hard to get them off. Be really careful about using a screwdriver or pliers or anything like that, because you can very easily arc from one of these inner cell connectors to the frame, and I've known a couple people that have actually blown the tops of their batteries off because there's a little bit of hydrogen here that it'll arc, and then the hydrogen ignites, and then these little caps are supposed to blow off and crack, so that these little things under here would break. But I've not really seen that happen. It's too bad they don't make these a little weaker, because it would be a heck of a lot easier if that cap would just explode and blow off, instead of what happens is it'll take the whole cell off the top of your battery. That's a big mess. I also wanted to show how this cell, you can see right here, this one's discolored compared to all these others that are definitely more lead looking. We've got this one over here that looks pretty bad. I'm going to show you what happens when I spray the cleaner on here. Hopefully there's good lighting here, but notice when I do this, you can see how it's going pink. You can see that pink in there. That's the acid detector. And so that kind of tells you where you want to get more of the foam. And so I'll go through and I'll kind of spray the inner cell connectors. Again, you don't want to get it inside your little caps, because this is a acid neutralizer, right? And so you just don't want to hover too long on, oh, I should take that back off. And then I like to just get a lot, just get it foamed up everywhere. And I'll pause the video here for a second. So there's, it's kind of foamed up. You can see the top. Now after a few minutes, that foam will dry. It's going to look something closer to this. And you can see that there's a little bit of foam still on there and stuff. And as you go around, you can see like, oh look, there's a little pink right there. Hopefully that shows up on the video. I think it does. And then you can choose to add just a little bit more foam on those pinky areas, because what we want to do is neutralize as much acid as possible, so that when we spray off the battery again, it will have a nice clean surface. I also bought this, which is a CRC battery terminal protector. I'm actually going to see what this looks like. I've never done this one before. So we're going to spray this over the terminals and see what it looks like. It's almost like you're just spray painting the terminal. In theory, that could help. That could help the terminal from having potential acid connect. Now the reason why this is so important, I'll come back over here. You can see on the side here, let me see, like right under there, you can see that this is actually worn away. You can see that the acid has eaten some of this intercell connector. There's another one over here. You can see there's a lot of pink there. And again, right up under there, you can see that's where the acid has been eating the intercell connector. You don't have to do this very often, maybe once a year. You just want to inspect things and make sure that they're cleaning up okay. If you let this acid or this electrolyte that builds up on the surface, the reason it builds up is you've got these little holes, and as the hydrogen vents, it will take a little with it electrolyte fluid every once in a while, like little spurts. And when that comes out, it'll land on top of the battery here. And electrolyte fluid is conductive. So after a period of time, you're going to create a circuit. Now, a lot of these trailers have problems right here where the lids are. So you can see that the lid, how it's lifted up right there. And I think the reason being is the water, the rainwater, will get through these little cracks right here, and then it will mix with whatever electrolyte fluid is there, and then it goes down, and right between these batteries here, I don't know if we can see it, but there's like a steel plate that they put down in there for reinforcement. Oh yeah, I think you can see it, like right in there. Let me move this a little. Anyway, that steel plate that's down in there ends up being an easy conductor. And so when the electrolyte builds up, you're essentially creating like a little miniature circuit, whether it's hitting this plate or the edges of your battery. It essentially starts an electric current, and the electrolyte will conduct electricity. And when it does that, it heats up. And when it heats up, guess what? It melts plastic, and your batteries are nothing more than just plastic. So that's the reason why some of these batteries get so bad. Like I've actually had some where there's physical holes on the top of this whole area where the acid has just been conducting so long that it's actually just kind of crisp, like the whole top of the cell is crispy. And again, those are really bad because you have to get them repaired. Now, you can take them to a place up in Salt Lake. I like DC Power Solutions. That's a little plug for them. I use them quite a bit. But they can do plastic welding. And there's been a lot of battery cells that are totally fine. It's just the top of the battery or the side of the battery got damaged from that current. From just having the electrolyte current kind of melt the plastic. And so they've been able to do some plastic welds for me, which is a lot cheaper than replacing an entire cell. Unfortunately, they still have to pull the cell, which means they have to redo the intercell connector. So it's still pricey.
Hey, how are you?
But if you can, it works so much better to have a battery that is the original cell with your battery. Because when you replace the cell, they don't always fit. Like right here, you can see this battery, that cell's a little tall, and then the intercell connector is kind of like beveled. It's going up, and then it goes back down. Plus, matching the age of the battery just means that the cell is going to work better with all the rest of the cells. All right, I'm going to pause this video for a little bit, and I'll probably show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, I pretty much emptied this can out. Usually, I can go through an entire can between two batteries on one of these solar trailers. But when you're buying this, just make sure you get the one that has the acid detector. I really like that. And you have to really kind of shake the can towards the end, because like you're spraying kind of in this position. And so it's like really you want to spray in this position. It's kind of a silly thing, but if you shake it as you're doing it, you can kind of get down a little bit more at the bottom of the can. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is some people will take a rag and wipe this off, and it's just a lot of work. I typically will just get my electric pressure washer again that's not very strong, and I'll just spray this off. And the reason I kind of like doing that is this acid neutralizer is still going to do some work, and so as the water mixes with it and takes it down the sides of the cells and in between, and it just seems like it's allowing this neutralizer to get into places that it wouldn't normally get when you're doing one of these cleanings. So anyway, that's that. Hope everything else is good for you guys, and good luck. Be safe, be careful, and definitely remember that any type of arc outside here can ignite the hydrogen. Sometimes people will take these caps off and just blow in there, you know, kind of, you know, and then it kind of stirs the air, or you can get like compressed air and just kind of like force air in, and because what that does kind of forces the hydrogen out. If these caps were not on, it wouldn't be so explosive. It would probably go boom, and it would ignite, but the explosion would have a place to go. The only reason that the cells blow up is because it's a contained explosion when the hydrogen ignites. So all right, you guys take care, and I'll post this video shortly. As always, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully someone out there is getting good use of these videos.